South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles,
Touchdown!
Sixers,
and
Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Blatt Kia Studios.
What a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
Thursday edition of Game Night here on 97.3 ESPN. I am Josh Hennig, hanging out with you here in the Matt Blatt Kia Studios. We are just days away from NFL Championship weekend. NFL head coaching news popping off throughout the morning and throughout the day. We'll get to all that and more coming up here. Andy McNamara joins us each Thursday from Sportsnet. He's their NFL and fantasy sports analyst. He will join us coming up at 6:20. As always, you can join the conversation at 609-403-0973. You could DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, thanks to First Bank of Seattle City. I can't avoid the head coaching news because I have so many thoughts on this. So I wake up this morning, first thing I see, Nathaniel Hackett hired by the Broncos. All right, fine. A couple hours later, Matt Eberflus hired by the Bears. All right, interesting. And now all of a sudden, Josh McDaniels is getting a coaching interview with the Raiders. Kevin O'Connell's getting another interview with the Texans. And I'm looking around the NFL, and I see two problems with these coaching hires. And Rob Maaddi brought this point up as well earlier on the Sports Bash, and I'm glad he brought it up because I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who's thinking this. Do NFL teams really hate people with coaching experience? I ask that seriously. You know, the Bears interviewed Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell is the only NFL coach in the last 22 years to lead the Lions to 2 postseason appearances. But yet the Bears said, we're going to hire Matt Eberflus 48 hours after we hired our GM, Ryan Poles. And I'm just looking around and I'm thinking, okay, so basically you got the job in Chicago because they told you you're going to hire the head coach? Like, that's what it feels like, does it not? Nathaniel Hackett pretty much got the job in Denver because he was going to interview for the Jags job, and Denver basically made a full court press to get him before he could get to the Jacksonville interview. And now everyone is speculating that is because they want Aaron Rodgers to come there. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. We'll find out. I have a lot of conflicted thoughts about the Denver Rodgers connection. But these head coaches, I'm really starting to wonder what teams are looking for because, you know, you look at that. Eric Bieniemy's got only one interview so far. You look at the fact that Josh McCown now, back-to-back years, has got interviews with the Texans. You look at the fact that Hackett, never head coached at any level, gets the Broncos job. The Bears keep doing this carousel where it's like offensive guy, defensive guy, offensive guy. I mean, remember, before Matt Nagy, it was John Fox. Before him was Mark Trestman. Before Trestman, it was Lovie Smith. So we're going defense, offense, and now going back to defense. Are they just going to keep alternating until they, quote unquote, get it right? I genuinely question if NFL teams really know what they're doing anymore. You know, it's hard for me to hate on the Hackett Denver hire because I have been told by numerous people that George Payton is one of the best NFL front office minds in the game today, that he was the guy who was very instrumental in a lot of the Vikings' best drafts over the years in Minnesota. So it seems like if he's going to hire Hackett, there's got to be a reason why. And I think it's more than just Aaron Rodgers. You could have hired somebody else who Aaron Rodgers liked too, and it could have been the connection made. Hackett's just the easiest one. You can't hire Eberflus in Chicago unless you're 100% certain you're going to get a specific guy as offensive coordinator. Now, who that is, I don't know. We're going to find out. But it just feels like the way this cycle is going right now, you had a total at the maximum of 9 openings. I just want to know what these teams are thinking, because I don't understand what is wrong with Jim Caldwell. What is wrong with Doug Peterson? What is wrong with some of these guys who have coaching experience? Dan Quinn literally removed his name from any more coaching opportunities after he didn't get the Bears or Broncos offers. Now, there's conjecture out there why. Some people are saying, well, that's because, he wants to stay in Dallas in case they fire Mike McCarthy. Some people are saying it's because that, he can't bring Michael Parsons with him. I think the latter is kind of true. Denver's got Bradley Chubb. The Bears got Khalil Mack. If he goes anywhere else, he's not getting one of those guys. I think that has something to do with it. And I think that Quinn has every right to pull his name out because he doesn't want to get passed over for every job. I believe that the NFL right now is going down a very dangerous path. The NFL, if you look what happened with the Texans, you look at what happened with the Broncos, you look at what happened in Minnesota where they completely cleaned house. You look at a lot of these situations right now. I'm starting to wonder if the NFL is in danger of becoming the NHL when it comes to head coaching situations. In the NHL, they recycle these guys left and right. You see almost every coach on planet Earth get numerous opportunities to coach again and again and again. And they're constantly firing these guys left and right. This guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. And I'm just very concerned that you have a situation where you're going to start seeing guys not get opportunities, not because they don't deserve the opportunity, but because these NFL teams are looking for the wrong thing. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and pound the table for a specific candidate or another. But I just feel like, okay, you're giving Hackett the job because you don't want to get the Jags interview. Eberflus gets hired basically 48 hours after Poles, the GM, gets the job. Low, fast turnaround, don't you think? The whole thing just seems messy. Now, we'll see how it plays out. Maybe Minnesota, New Orleans, Houston, Miami, and the Giants will play out differently, and I feel a little bit differently. But as of right now, I just don't feel very good about how teams are going about their business. Because, like I said, there are coaches with experience. Doug Peterson has a Super Bowl championship as a head coach. Jim Caldwell led the Colts to a Super Bowl, and he took 2 Lions teams to a postseason appearance. And you don't want that guy? You don't want a guy who won a Super Bowl and Doug Peterson? The whole thing just feels weird. And I understand that, maybe some of these guys are looking for the wrong things, like I said. PowerPoint presentations, smooth talkers. Who's going to give them the best, the best one-liner? I don't know. I hope that's not true for Denver and Chicago fans out there, but I'm not feeling too great today about the Broncos and Bears hires. Josh Hennig here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. At Josh Hennig on Twitter. Of course, you can join the conversation. You can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Thanks to First Bank of Seattle City. Also, the text board is open at 609-403-0973. Message coming in from Paul in Millville says, Josh, do you think the Mike McCarthy effect is keeping all these experienced coaches from getting a job? Paul, I honestly hope not. Paul in Millville, I hope you're wrong. I hope there's no Mike McCarthy effect, because The reason why McCarthy is not on the same tier as a Peterson or a Caldwell or a Quinn is because McCarthy won a championship with one of the best players on the planet. Doug Peterson won with Nick Foles and a defense in the Super Bowl that forgot how to play defense. You know, the Eagles defense played great in the Vikings and the Falcons games in that playoff run. And then the Super Bowl happens, couldn't do anything for 3 quarters. Doug Peterson deserves so much credit for that championship run. And he got them back to the postseason 2 more years after that. Jim Caldwell, again, he got to the postseason with the Lions, for goodness sake. The Lions! Twice! And Dan Quinn, you know, I understand he lost the Super Bowl with the Falcons, but he still got there with the Falcons. The Falcons have had 2 Super Bowl appearances in their history. 2, and that's it. Dan Quinn and Dan Reeves. The Dans. That's it. You're one of 2. That's a very exclusive category. So, to me, I hope the Mike McCarthy effect isn't impacting because, to me, McCarthy's in a different conversation. McCarthy has shown that he can't win a playoff game without Aaron Rodgers. So, how am I supposed to put my McCarthy in the same boat as other guys? I can't, but maybe Paul Millville is right. Maybe there are teams out there who are looking at these coaches and saying, I need fresh blood. I need the next Nick Sirianni or the next Kevin Stefanski or the next Cliff Kingsbury. You know, it's hard to find guys because most of the coaches who have been successful in recent years all have tenure. They all have numerous years under their belt. I mean, the last guy with a lot of postseason success who was very early in his postseason coaching career was Sean McVay when they got to the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan has been in San Francisco for more than a minute now. Several years, it seems like. I'm looking around the league, like who's the guy who's young and up and coming who is, you know, kicked down the door? I mean, Frank Reich's an older coach. He has been around the league for a while before he got the Colts job. Now, the Colts were left at the altar waiting for Josh McDaniels, and then he decided to not go through with it. So they kind of got stuck with having to pick Frank Reich or nobody else. But I just feel like in this league, experience should be important. And the fact that we're not valuing experience, I think is dangerous. By the way, speaking of experience, no LeBron James. According to Shams Charania, LeBron James will miss tonight's Sixers-Lakers game due to his left knee soreness. LeBron will continue to be day to day. So that's the latest on that. Sixers are basically going to play Anthony Davis and a shorthanded Lakers team tonight. Now, the question is, the last time the Sixers played a team that was shorthanded was the Pelicans, and they had trouble beating them. So, I'm not going to say the Sixers are guaranteed to win, but I think the odds are in their favor. We'll talk more about that a little bit later in the show. But coming up on the other side, we'll talk more NFL with Andy McNamara from Sportsnet. NFL Championship Sunday. His thoughts on the latest NFL news right here. Coming up on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Three-point shot up and good. Joel Embiid with 47 points in this game here in Philadelphia.
The Sixers host the LA Lakers. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Dorothy Roofing, Call 1-877-97-KEVIN.
Hi, I'm Kevin Daly, the owner of Dorothy Gale Roofing. Do you have a leak? Do you need a new roof? Give us a call today for honest, wholehearted advice at 1-877-97-KEVIN.
Wizard quality comes with DorothyRoofing.com.
When you order your Walgreens prescriptions with same-day delivery, it's possible you'll experience some side effects. Side effects may include joy that you won't run out of your pills and disbelief at just how crazy fast the delivery came right to your door. Get your same-day prescription refill today on the Walgreens app.
To use same-day RX delivery or 1 to 2 business day delivery, you must be opted into prescription status alerts. It will appear as an option of orders before that store's cutoff time for the day. Certain health plans do not cover or participate in same-day RX delivery. Check with your health plan for further details. Excludes California.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during our January sale, save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
I want a new laptop for the new year, but I'm working with last year's budget.
It's possible at Staples.
How about a PC that can manage my workload at a price I can manage?
Also possible. Your local Staples has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work. This week, get the Lenovo IdeaPad 5i with Intel i5 processor for just $549.99. You save $180. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/29/22. Limit 2. In-store only.
Love is in the air at Cowtown Cowboy Outfitters. Check out the most beautiful Montana silversmith jewelry for men and women on January 29th and 30th and save 20% on all Montana silversmiths jewelry. Not looking for jewelry? Cowtown Cowboy Outfitters has the best selection of trendy Western apparel, from cowboy boots and hats to jeans, belts, and so much more. Want to look and feel like you live at Dutton Ranch? This is the place to go for personalized and attentive customer service and the best selection around. Open 7 days a week and online at cowtowncowboy.com.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole in one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
TracFone Wireless knows that everyone needs an endless amount of data. So why pay for it? Get unlimited talk to text with 8 gigabytes of high-speed data for just $40 a month, with unlimited carryover data so you keep what you don't use on America's largest and most dependable networks with nationwide 5G. TracFone Wireless, now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
As a local bank with deep roots in Cape May County, Crest Savings Bank's directors, management, and employees are all part of your community. We are your neighbors, friends, and family. Our financial centers serve your personal and professional deposit, loan, and wealth management needs. We are thankful for the opportunity to serve our residents and visitors for over 100 years by providing small-town customer service with modern products. Crest Savings Bank. Banking is what we do. Community is who we are. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
NFL Championship Sunday this weekend. Of course, you can hear all the action right here on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. on Sunday. The NFL never sleeps. I love it. I also hate it. We'll get into it next with Andy McNamara from Sportsnet. Of course, you can follow him on Twitter at AndyMC81. He has joined us all football season long at 6:20 on Thursdays right here on 97.3 ESPN. And he's back again for another edition. Andy, my friend, how you doing?
Josh, good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. But before we get to the games, I got to ask you, because as my favorite Browns fan, okay, you are very well versed in the cycling of coaches, okay?
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I'm very uncomfortable with how the first head coaching hires have gone in the NFL, because if like the Broncos literally were like, they did a full court press on Hackett because he was going to interview for the Jags job. It's like, okay. And then Ryan Poles gets hired 48 hours ago, and then he hires a new head coach, Matt Eberflus. They have no connection to each other. Like, I can't even, they don't have a school connection. They don't have an NFL connection. I mean, unless they have an agent that I don't know about, but I can't find anything connecting these guys. And it just feels like the league is so obsessed with having the new guy.
Right.
But yet the new guy hasn't won anything in a while. The last new guy to really win anything was Doug Peterson and Sean McVay. Since those guys, who's the new guy who's winning out there? I don't understand the obsession with getting the new guy, and I feel like the league is starting a dangerous precedent here.
Yeah, Josh, I'm totally with you, man. It seems like a case where GMs or franchises or ownership, whatever, want that shiny toy. They see the jingling keys to the baby, right? They say, oh, that guy, he was with Aaron Rodgers, and they threw for a lot of passing yards and touchdowns and won a lot of games. Well, yes, probably more so because of Aaron Rodgers. My fear, and I don't know why GMs don't learn from this, it's the Adam Gase effect. Boy, Peyton Manning should get a nice fancy bottle of wine from Adam Gase every Christmas, every birthday, every week for the amount of money that guy made, because he was Peyton Manning's, quote, offensive coordinator. Were you, though? Were you? Same thing with Hackett. Okay, like I don't doubt the guy can do a good job, I'm sure, but you have Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so you go to Denver. Let's say Aaron Rodgers doesn't go to Denver. You got Drew Lock, bro. You're going to look this. You throw him for 40 TDs with Lock? I don't think so. And even anybody else you bring in, right? So it's a press. And quick side note, Josh, I understand the Denver Broncos wanting Aaron Rodgers. I don't understand why Aaron Rodgers would want to go to the AFC West when he has, one, maybe 2 years left? You're going to want to go head-to-head in the same division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert? Why? You have a guaranteed, barring injury, a guaranteed division title. In that division, you're looking wild card, and that's if things go right. It's going to be a war. I don't know why you'd want to go to Denver to be in the AFC West.
Yeah, the whole thing just seems very, very strange how it's like attempting to be connected.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I said, like it felt like Denver panicked. It was like they saw Hackett was going to fly for the Jags interview, and they were like, oh no, we can't let that happen. You want the job? And now you see Dan Quinn pulled his name out. He's like, well, I didn't get the Denver job. I didn't get the Chicago job. Never mind. I don't want a head coaching job. Like,
oh, wait.
And it's like, Dan Quinn went to a Super Bowl as a head coach. Jim Caldwell took the Lions to 2 postseason appearances. Previously, also got Indianapolis to their second Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, no, Matt Eberflus and Nathaniel Hackett, come on down. You're the next contestant of The Price is Right.
Come on in. Right. Like you're absolutely right. You have proven commodities, and there's a balance, Josh. There's a balance between just the old boys club of
I'm not saying Jeff Fisher here, okay?
Absolutely. No, I'm totally with you. It's much different than you're trotting out Bill Parcells for the 10th time or Fisher or whatever. That's not what you're saying. These are still new-ish, innovative type of coach. Like Dan Quinn, I would still consider a youngish head coach. Doug Peterson hasn't been that long. You still have fresh. These aren't like the old school guys, yet they've been cast away. And an even more confusing thing, if I'm Jerry Jones, like why Why is McCarthy still there? Why? You have Dan Quinn and more at your fingertips. You could have a nice continuity and send McCarthy back to the barn where he was studying tape. Like, I don't understand. So yeah, these are the shiny new toys, and it just, to me, it feels like we're getting more Matt Nagy types than more Doug Peterson types.
And by the way, and I'm not anti any specific candidate.
Yeah.
I just feel like some of these guys have resumes that make more sense. Like, for example,
agreed.
Like, look at what happened to the USFL today. Jeff Fisher is going to be the head coach of the Michigan Panthers. Okay. You're the USFL. I get why you're hiring him. All right.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Bandits are hiring Todd Haley. I get why you're hiring him.
It's
you know who the Philadelphia Stars hired as their head coach?
No.
Bart Andrews.
Oh.
Okay. I never heard of this guy before.
Okay, good.
He has the worst coaching resume you can find. Okay. And it's like, if you're the USFL, you're a secondary football league, you got to find the retread guy. So people are like, I know who that is on the field. You know what I mean? Right. You got to give us something. So you don't need to do that in the NFL, but it feels like the Broncos and the Bears hired their own Bart Andrewses, and they were like, well, we don't want the retread. We want to get you gave me a good PowerPoint presentation, or you seem like a nice guy, or whatever. And it's like, and it's just so confusing. I mean, look, things can turn around, Andy. The Giants, the Saints, the Jags, the Dolphins, the Texans, the Vikings, they still have to all hire head coaches. So I'm not, and also the Raiders, I forgot about the Raiders. So I'm not saying this is a trend, but for the first two head coaching hires, I am extremely underwhelmed.
When you, and I'm glad when you said Bart Andrews, in my head, I'm like, I have no idea who that is.
Listen, anybody listening to my voice, look up his picture and tell me he doesn't look like the losing football coach in a high school football movie.
I got to look that up after. I'm going to look that up. That's awesome. Well, you'd think the first two head coach hirings, now it's not necessarily true. Maybe some coaches don't want to come, but you got the pick of the litter. Everybody's there. Everybody's up. Brian Flores, right? Everybody's out there. Why these two? And it's sometimes the same thing with play calling from head coaches. They try to get too cute, Josh. They try to outthink. They say, no, we're the smarter ones. We're going to find the unknown guy. We're going to get the one. Yeah, we're good. Instead of sometimes the simpler answer is right there. You got Doug Peterson, who won a Super Bowl. You got Dan Quinn, who went to a Super Bowl. You got Brian Flores, who's doing a damn good job in Miami before the internal squabbles over Tua got him out. You have a sample size of quality output at a head coaching realm where you get these offensive guys. And the biggest thing, defense, I still think in general, it might be a easier transition to be a head coach because you always, almost to a man, get these offensive minds who come in. Oh, I got to call my own plays. That's why I got the job. I got to call my own plays. And guess what? You think you're too smart. You get overwhelmed, and then your butt gets turfed after a couple of years. We've seen it all the time.
By the way, you ready? I'll pop the picture up for you to see it. You ready?
Oh, please. Yes.
There he is.
Oh, and he's like a villain too. He like cheated in the movie or something.
Like guy who's like the guy who loses in random football movie.
Oh, he is beaten by life. Look at the jowls. Oh my gosh, he's just defeated. What's the inspirational speech like? Hey, fellas.
Well, I mean, there's some other pictures that make him look more villainous than that picture.
Oh, he looks like a heel. I'll tell you. I'd boo him.
Doesn't he?
I'd boo him. That's a good wrestling manager face. I'd boo him.
I mean,
that's a heel look.
I mean, there's another picture here. I'll pull it up for you. And when I saw this other picture, I was just like, yep. This is the villain. This is the guy who's like the bad guy in your movie.
I'm guessing Bart's not going to be a guest on your show anytime soon.
Honestly, my first question would be to him, hey, Bart, so what did you say in the meeting that got you the job?
Oh, look at the slick back hair. Oh, yeah. That's like an Andy. That's like the double of Andy Garcia in Ocean's 11.
Like, you remember the movie, Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
Like, does he look like the guy who is paying off the refs to not call the game straight.
Yep.
And remember the Titans.
Absolutely. You could plot him into a whole bunch, like a bad mob movie, like not a Scorsese, but like a C-level one made for TV. Oh yeah, like a terrible Al Capone lookalike. Nah, that's great.
Maybe he could be like the coach on the rival team on like a CW show.
You know what? Josh, you're kind of making me want to follow the Philadelphia Stars now. I want to see how this plays out. I might adopt them as my USFL team.
Please don't.
I want to Bart Andrews.
As long as that Jeff Fisher and the Michigan Panthers, I guess it's okay. But
God, how perfect would it be if they go 7-9? Please. I'm assuming they're playing 16
They have
games.
to go 8-8. Remember? He said we don't go 500. We don't bleep and go 500. Remember that whole line from Hard Knocks?
That's 7-9. Be bleep and 8-8. You got to go like right around that 500 mark, so he just keeps going.
We will get the NFL championship Sunday night.
That's so good. I love it.
Really quick. Here are the coaches of the USFL.
Okay.
You mentioned Jeff Fisher. So Todd Haley is the head coach of the Tampa Bay Bandits.
Okay.
Larry Fedora, yes, the former coach of North Carolina, is the head coach of the New Orleans Breakers. Kevin Sumlin is the head coach of the Houston Gamblers. Mike Riley, yes, the former Oregon State head coach. He's the head coach of the New Jersey Generals. Skip Holtz, Lou Holtz's son, the head coach of the Birmingham Stallions.
Okay.
Kirby Wilson, another no-name guy, head coach of the Pittsburgh Maulers. And then you have Bart Andrews, the villain, head coach of the Philadelphia Stars.
I want to see all these coaches like side by side just to see if like nobody can come close to Bart Andrews, especially that first pick. I'm starting to like him. I don't know. I'm starting to kind of get. I kind of want Bart Andrews to have to smile. I want him to get some wins.
Is this like the reverse of the Dark Knight line? Like Dark Knight says, you either die a hero, or you see long enough to become the villain. Like, is Andrews like you either die the villain, or you live long enough to see yourself to become the hero?
I think the creepier thing would to see a picture where he's smiling. Like, I think that would just be soul stealing. Like a toothy grin. Ooh, yeah, I'm all in. You can Josh, Bart Andrews, Philadelphia Star. Let's go. All
right, well, let's talk about some games this weekend.
Okay.
Listen, first of all, you and I both knew all along that the Rams and the Bengals were live dogs. You and I both said that last week.
Yeah.
But being a live dog one week does not guarantee you a win the next week. Of those two teams, how much faith do you have in them to win their games?
For the Bengals, not much, although I hope it is as close to a mere. We'll never see a game. I don't see how you could, as exciting as the fourth quarter in OT as that Bills-Chiefs game. My goodness. Right. That was, and it's not just the recency bias, Josh. Like, that was the greatest playoff finish ever in NFL history. That was just spectacular. But I love the matchup for the possibility of the sling it back and forth. So I can see the Bengals maybe keeping it close and almost coming down to that who gets the ball last. But I don't have confidence that they'll win based on the defense. I think, like, if I have to pick either the Bengals or the Rams to win, I would pick the Rams as the more likely to win. But still, I don't feel like they will. Like, they kept backing their way into the playoffs, into winning the division. You nearly gave it away to Tom Brady. The 49ers have your number. Like, this is one that stands out to me, that Rams 49ers one, where it's ripe for the 49er upset. So, but if I had to pick between the two, I guess the Rams would be the more likelihood to come out ahead. Because if they are able to get up a couple scores quick, which they have the ability to do, then the 49ers got to start throwing it around with Jimmy G, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I think both games will be competitive. I'm not suggesting that, but there's a part of me that's looking at the situation, and I saw Joe Burrow get smashed by 9 sacks versus the Titans.
Yeah.
It's not like the Chiefs are a much easier defensive front. I mean, Chris Jones, guy's a freak. They got some amazing athletes on that defensive front, and Spags throws blitzes. He's a blitz kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then the Rams, they've lost 6 straight games to the 49ers. Just think about that for a minute. Sean McVay, the Wonder Boy, can't beat the other Wonder Boy, Kyle Shanahan, for 6 straight games. And if I remember correctly, I think one of those games was Nick Mullins playing. So,
I think you're right. Yeah.
So, I mean, what was it, like a Thursday night game? I think it was. So,
right.
You're talking about a situation where, the Rams have this cloud over their head. The Bengals have a horrible offensive line. I mean, I think Bengals and Chiefs will probably be like, Chiefs winning I don't know, 35-28 maybe, 35-30 kind of game. And I can see the 49ers winning by a field goal at the end. We could see a rematch of Chiefs 49ers a couple of years ago here.
Yeah. And the over under on ESPN.com right now, I see 54.5 for Chiefs Bengals. I pray it's the over because then we know we're seeing a good matchup, right?
Right.
I want over. I could just see this. I don't know why, Josh, but this Rams 49ers game is just stinking to me of like a 13-10 dog.
Right?
Just
doesn't it seem like it's going to be just like like we just saw the 49ers barely beat the Packers. Doesn't it feel like that could be a repeat?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a grinded out. And if it's a grinded out thing, the Rams aren't winning because then something hasn't gone right. And we've seen Stafford in the last few weeks of the regular season turn the ball over, all that. 49ers want to wear you down, and Kyle Shanahan is creative. We've talked about this, right? Jimmy G statistics on their own are pretty average at best, not good, but the guy wins. Now, whether that's on because he's physically in the game or the scheming, whatever, it doesn't matter. You actually win. Deebo Samuel's there. The defense is as healthy as it's been. So there's enough there where the Rams can fold and things can go wrong. And that's why I think it is going to be low scoring. If the Rams are, I think if we look back and we see the Rams have 28 points, the 49ers don't win. I don't think they can hang with that.
Andy McNamara from Sportsnet joining us here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. So how are you going with the Rams 49ers game? Nobody's picking the Bengals. Let's be realistic. All right. No one's picking the Bengals. And it's not just because you're a Bears fan. I'm sorry, a Browns fan.
Right.
I mean, it's because we legitimately don't believe in the Bengals beating the Chiefs.
I'll take him to cover. I'll take him to get within 7. I think I might do that.
So you like him to cover the 7. Okay. Well,
yes.
That's fair.
I kind of like that. To win out, if I'm just taking straight up, no.
Okay. But how are you leaning in the 49ers Rams game?
I've been going back and forth in this one, Josh. I have. Because there's a couple ways we can look at it. At first, I was looking at the over-under at 46. And I thought, well, this really ties into who you think is going to win the game. Mm-hmm. If it's under 46, the 49ers are winning this game. I don't think that's a question. I think they win this game. If it's over, the Rams win it. Now, the Rams are at home, right? You win this game, you stay home and host the freaking Super Bowl. It's a lot of pressure on Matt Stafford, who's done nothing, not really all his fault because he was in Detroit, but he's done nothing his whole career to be able to do that. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo, like him or not, he's gotten to a Super Bowl. He's been there. He knows what, as has his head coach. So that's why I'm going to, and the Rams are only 3.5-point favorites too, which again is a bit of a, if Vegas was feeling, if I saw 7 on the Rams from Vegas, then I might be like, well, okay. But that 3.5, I think, tells us all we need to know. Because if you put that home as the 3-point swing, you take that away, we're pretty much at a pick 'em, right? Yeah. So I feel the 49ers take it. I think it's going to be under 46 points. And I'm with you. I think it's going to come down to a field goal. It's going to be something, kind of boring from an offensive side, like a 17-14 type of thing. Turnovers. Like one of those games we saw. Well, what was it for was it for all the games last weekend where the only passing touchdown came from Ryan Tannehill? I think that was it, wasn't it? In that Saturday slate,
right? In the Titans Bengals game,
yeah,
yes.
In that one, and that was it. And then maybe it was the weekend before. There's like the 4 games or something, and it was whatever. But it's like for the 49ers, you can grind this out. I could see this box score easily being, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 0-1, 2-3. You know what I mean? Like I think it's going to be a bit more defensively focused. That's why I think the 49ers are going to win. If I'm putting a straight up winner, I take the 49ers. And if I'm taking a cover, I'd go Bengals.
All right, real quick before I let you go. If you're playing DFS on Sunday, who's your kicker?
Oh, wow. Boy, McPherson has ice veins, right? You got Butka. What a great yelling name. Vodka, get over. Am I going gold? The gold man? Am I going Robbie? I'm gonna go Robbie with the 49ers, because I think that's going to be a bit more of a field goal situation fest.
All right.
I think Bengals Chiefs are going to be more extra points. Yeah, I'll go with 49ers kicker. That's what I'll click. Yeah.
By the way, news just coming in on the ticket market that the Rams can't control.
Yes.
It looks like the 49er fans are flooding it.
Oh, really?
It looks like we might have maybe a repeat of that game last week of the season where it was like 50-50. This is going to get interesting. That 3.5 is looking a lot better for you, Andy.
Right? Even more so. Okay, I'm putting some coin on the 49ers. I think they do. And you know what, Josh, really, if I'm just looking at it from a pure entertainment standpoint from the Super Bowl, I want the Rams in it. Because they'll play the Chiefs, but let's say either way, you have two offensive power that can air it out. If we don't, and it's the 49ers, I think we're in for the potential of a bit of an offensive dud.
You heard it here first. Andy McNamara, Sportsnet. Follow him on Twitter at AndyMC81 is where you can catch him on Twitter. And he joins us every Thursday here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. And considering our USFL conversation, Andy may be coming back for the rest of the calendar year at this rate because
Coach Andrews, let's go.
I'm telling you, folks, look up Bart Andrews on Google. Look through the Google images. He looks like the villain from the High School Football movie.
That's so true.
And let your mind run with it.
Pick your own, and then picture him smiling. I've just started doing that. I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight, Josh. Poor Bart. He's probably a nice guy too. Poor guy.
I never met the guy. No idea who he was.
We're not going to now.
His last NFL job was in 2013 with the Rams, the St. Louis Rams, as an offensive analyst.
So how's this dude get a head coaching job? USFL show podcast on 97.3 coming.
I'm telling you, Andy, look up his resume, and you're going to be so confused.
I'm doing it tonight. I'm. You know what? We'll check back next week, and we'll give our USFL update on. We'll break it down.
Weekend, my friend.
You too, buddy. See ya.
Josh Hennig here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. I'm going to try to compose myself and wrap up this show on the other side. Sixers, Lakers tonight. No LeBron James. We'll get you more on the latest for the Sixers-Lakers game next here on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Sunday, it's the championship round of the NFL playoffs as we bring you a special doubleheader. First, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs host Joe Burrow and the Bengals in the AFC title game. Then, two division rivals battle each other for the NFC championship when the Rams take on the 49ers. Who will advance to Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles? Hear the playoff picture unfold right here.
Listen to the championship round of the NFL playoffs on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 2 p.m.
Matt Blatt Kia has a solution to your New Year's resolution. Don't drive around in a car you hate. Trade it in for something great. So bring us any trade, no matter the make, no matter the mileage, no matter the condition, and put zero down. Pay zero interest for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. If you're currently stuck in a loan or lease, Matt Blatt Kia can get you released. Choose from the largest selection of certified pre-owned Kias. So why make a resolution you can't keep? Trade in your old Kia and drive away in a new Kia with zero down and zero interest for 60 months on every 2022 Kia Stinger. Or make no payments until next year.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Offers with approved Tier 1 or 2 credit through Kia Motors Finance. Not all will qualify. 0% based on 1667 per 1,000 borrowed. Negative equity financed into the loan. Excludes taxes, title, license. Offers don't combine. Call 877-289-6670 or go to mattblattkianj.com for complete details. Expires 2/6/2022. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and now on Route 37 in Toms River.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3. A Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands. Jackson Hewitt knows that. Discover thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to reduce wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. Try Syntec today exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time for the Caesars Sportsbook Report. The NFL divisional round did not disappoint, and this weekend should be a fun one too. Championship Sunday kicks off in Kansas City. The Bengals go up against the Chiefs for the AFC Championship. Also vying for a trip to the Super Bowl on Sunday are the 49ers and the Rams. The NFC Championship game goes down in Los Angeles, and like the game prior, it's definitely worth the wager. Be sure to check the app for the latest odds, promos, and bonuses for all your football, hockey, and hoops wagers. Caesars Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. And now, a word from Caesar himself.
So given a choice, I'd rather have a robot butler than a jetpack. But what was my point? Oh yeah, a bunch of the games on the Caesar Sportsbook and Casino app have live dealers and live players. Download it and you can play with real people. And how do we not have jetpacks by now? Where's the future we were promised, people?
Must be 21. Offer valid in New Jersey only for new players. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code LANE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code LANE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LANE.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
2021 is officially in the rearview mirror, and we are well into the winter of 2022. Hi, Tom McAllister from McAllister the Service Company. People often ask me what is the secret to the incredible success of the McAllister organization. The answer is simple. It's our core values of honesty, integrity, and our 100% satisfaction guarantee. For over 145 years, our clients call us not because we service or install a particular make or brand of equipment. They call us because they are trusting their home comfort to the experts at McAllister. So if you put off upgrading your air conditioning system last year, now is the perfect time to take advantage of discounts and rebates offered by the state and the utilities. Remember, after January 23rd, there are only 8 Saturdays left until spring. Talk to the experts at McAllister, 609-927-4122, or at mcservice.com for all your heating and air conditioning needs. McAllister cannot control the weather, but we can control your comfort.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Sixers versus Lakers coverage begins at the top of the hour right here on 97.3 ESPN. Tip-off at 7:30. No LeBron James tonight. He's out. Anthony Davis is playing. Now, I'm looking for an official update on Tobias Harris. I don't know if I'll have that before I get off the air tonight. It looks like Tobias Harris will play tonight. He was during normal warm-ups shooting around. So I'm assuming he's good to go, but we'll find out. Either way tonight, the Sixers, the line has moved since LeBron James was officially ruled out. It's -6 for the 76ers right now. The over-under is 215. I got to tell you guys, the only thing I feel comfortable about in this game tonight, the only thing I feel comfortable in this game tonight, Joel Embiid, points, rebounds over 46.5. That's the only thing I feel comfortable about. You hear the game tonight on 97.3 ESPN. By the way, the game's on TNT. So anybody who's looking to watch the game tonight, it's not on the regional sports network. It's only on TNT. Now, I'm not usually the guy that complains, but I will complain about this. So typically during the breaks, I like to flip over and see what's going on SportsCenter and everything. No SportsCenter. I have women's college basketball on ESPN, a matchup where I only know one of the teams at all. The other one is the United States national team World Cup qualifying, U.S. versus El Salvador. And then on the regional sports network, I have either retread programming or paid programming. It's a bad job by everybody involved. I understand. And by the way, TNT, where the game is on, they only have a half-hour pregame show. Right now, it's Bones. And I just saw Angel shoot the bad guy. So, there you go. Hopefully it doesn't spoil anything for anybody out there. Television's a strange thing, folks. I mean, you literally go and look for information. You're trying to get all the... I'm trying to sit here during the break, trying to get you guys updates and information and everything. And I'm like, well, no one's helping me out. No one's helping me out at all. By the way, Jeff Mosher, Adam Kaplan from Inside the Birds podcast are reporting that the Chicago Bears are targeting Eagles Director of Player Personnel, Ian Cunningham, for a higher ranking job in the Chicago front office. Cunningham's been with the Eagles for 5 years, and supposedly, according to reports, him and Poles are close professional friends. So it looks like Howie Roseman's going to lose another member of his front office to another organization. This time looks like it could be Ian Cunningham is going to be leaving the Philadelphia Eagles. Josh Hennig hanging out with you here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. By the way, shout out to Dwight Howard. So Dwight Howard I'm watching a video of him before the game. He's signing people's jerseys. He's hanging out with the fans. He's chatting it up. You know, I got to tell you, I missed Dwight Howard in a Sixers uniform. I thought he was so much fun. I thought he was a cool guy to have around the organization. You know, he's joking with Sixer fans about why nobody has a Sixers jersey of him. They only have Lakers jerseys of him. It's great. I love it. Listen, I love Andre Drummond. I think he's done a phenomenal job as Embiid's backup. But it's fun to see Dwight Howard interacting with the fans. It's cool stuff. It really is. For better or worse, Dwight Howard's going to be in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame one day. And that's going to be one fun speech. Looking forward to it. All right. Thanks, Andy McNamara, for joining us from Sportsnet, as he does each and every Thursday. Tomorrow on the show, we will talk more NFL with DraftKings NFL analyst Reed Fowler tomorrow night on Game Night. Mike Gill will be back with the Sports Bash tomorrow. Jerome Bettis, the boss, on the Sports Bash tomorrow afternoon. And, of course, Sports Bash 2 to 6. And I'll be back on at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Have a great night. Sixers, Lakers, next.
Hey, South Jersey, this is Billy Schwein. Tune into The Locker Room every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN. Each weekend in The Locker Room, you will get passionate sports talk from a fan's perspective, along with interviews with some of the biggest names in sports. That's every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon in The Locker Room with me, Billy Schwein, on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner.